Hello and welcome to the first of the trots.com.au trial file videos, the Black Book videos. Each Tuesday we're going to post the trial file on the trots.com.au. That's exclusive content, so you've got to visit the new website, the trots.com.au, to actually access this information. And this video will aim to explain and explore the Black Bookers in a little bit more detail. Obviously the trial file has all the information which you're looking at hopefully on this page, but the idea of the video will be to actually have a look through the replays and point out a few reasons why I've pointed out certain runners to follow out of the trials. So let's get straight into it. And the first horse that I've black booked this week is a trotter called Armchair Drive from the Phil Chirkop stable. We're going to grab the closing stages of this trial just so I can explain exactly the situation that we're talking about here. And you see that from about the 400 metre mark, so I just turn the volume down here, at the 400 metre mark, that's War Spirit, that's a Breeders' Crown winner in the Breeze, running to the front in this Trotters trial, and that's Armchair Drive peeling off its back, so making a run out there 3 wide. Now those two horses, they break away here, and you notice their Armchair Drive under no real urging, finishes almost alongside War Spirit. Remember, War Spirit is a Breeders' Crown winner, and Armchair Drive, he hasn't raced since October. He resumes at Melton on Friday night. Gavin Lang's aboard in the 3rd race, and I think based on the trial that we just saw, he should absolutely be very competitive. So look for him at Melton this week. I've also black booked Maxine's Delight, and hopefully the Hoban team can deliver follow as another winner. After last week we pointed out Tangoing with Sierra, who won on debut in the feature 2-year-old race. We'll have a quick look at the replay here. Maxine's Delight. The first thing that we want to look at here is the start. And as soon as we let the mobile roll here, that's Maxine's Delight out very wide on the track in the Hoban black and white colours, running straight to the lead. Really good gate speed from Maxine's Delight. And remember, this is the horse who last week in the trial file we noted ran 2nd in the trial to Little Peanut. That horse went on to, of course, run in the New South Wales Derby final, so that was a good effort. But on this occasion, as we fast forward to the finish, she leads Maxine's Delight. She gives a good kick, and she's only just run down at the end here. That horse on the outside going up to pass her now is Tennille Erin from the Emma Stewart stable, the all-conquering Emma Stewart stable, just nutting out Maxine's Delight at the finish. They ran 2 minutes 0.1, 57.5 last half, and a 27.8 last 400 metres. So Maryborough Thursday for Maxine's Delight. She does draw a handy little field. But importantly, you should factor in her gate speed, because she's quoted $14 on harness.org.au early doors. The favourite's $1.30. That's Speak No Evil for Emma Stewart. And of course, the informed Machiavelli's in the race as well. But if we see, going by the trial, if we can have Maxine's Delight show that gate speed that she showed at the trial, then I think she's a chance of finding the lead. And if she finds the top at $14, I reckon you're looking at some value. Next, we'll move on to Shepperton, and at the Shepperton trials, I've put Playing It Cool, Scotland Beach, and Bank on Betty all in the black book. The horse we're going to focus on is a trotter by the name of Bank on Betty. So we're going to call up that replay now. And Bank on Betty, we see here with Josh Aiken in the cart. Not much happens probably for the first mile, so we're picking it up from the 400 metres. That's Bank on Betty now coming round from the back. She was last on the outside, and you see here she just, Bank on Betty just cruises around. Now she's 4 wide, 5 wide as they fan across the track. Under no urging whatsoever here from Josh Aiken. Bank on Betty, who we earmarked last week as one to follow, absolutely puts the writing on the wall here by coming home strong. The horse on the inside of it's being urged along, and Bank on Betty just grabs the lead right on the line for a very good win and untouched in that trial. She debuts on Thursday at Maryborough and is currently quoted at $4 for Russell Thompson. I think she'll take plenty of beating on debut. She does bump into Matt Craven's handy Trotter Star in sight, but I think on what we've seen at the trials on Bank on Betty looks really professional, and I think we'll be winning at some stage very soon. On to Kilmore trials, and the trial that we're focusing on here involves Muscle Up Major winning for Rod Petroff, and trial number 5 this is. I've always had a good opinion of Muscle Up Major, and it certainly looks ready for a strong prep based on this. It was a really good win, so Muscle Up Major does go into the black book. He had Sarge beaten on the turn. Sarge is a reasonably performed horse from the Brent Lilly stable, and it was just flicked along in this trial and couldn't get the better of Muscle Up Major, so good run by the winner, Muscle Up Major. But the horse we're highlighting as we go to the replay is a horse called Nat's a Christian. Now this filly's had 2 starts, and on both occasions Nat's a Christian has made mistakes. We see early doors in the trial, she's pretty slow to begin, and she drifts out the back. A horse gallops in front of her, jumps off stride, but she just keeps on pacing. So she balances up at the back. She gets around that galloping horse, no problems at all. And that's important because at both her runs to date, she's made mistakes. We're going to fast forward to the end of the trial now, and we see here the leader kick away, and that's the horse that we spoke about just a moment ago, Muscle Up Major. And now we see the horse I'm talking about here, Nat's a Christian, coming to the outside. Sarge is being urged along, the horse over on the fence is being urged along, and Nat's a Christian, the filly, who was well back at the start, is just under no driving whatsoever for Lisa Miles, finds the line really, really well. That was a pretty solid effort, so I have a feeling that Nat's a Christian will bob up soon and will be pretty big odds, and I think can absolutely improve based on that trial performance. So Nat's a Christian and Muscle Up Major both go into the black book, but I must admit I'm being a little bit speculative with Nat's a Christian. I just think it's a good sign that she behaved herself so well in that trial. We'll finish with the Maryborough trials, and there's a trotter here that is a 14-start maiden, and that's normally reason to panic and probably to avoid. But last week in the trial file, I mentioned that a horse called Me Pat Malone was very, very impressive. Well, 1 week later, absolutely a fantastic performance from Me Pat Malone at the Maryborough trials. We'll call up the replay. And as we go through this one, we're picking it up at the bell, and that's Me Pat Malone up in the breeze and drilling the leader. And they've got some pretty good gaps throughout the field here, and Me Pat Malone's basically been in the chair most of the way. We'll fast forward it as they come off the back. These two leaders have got right away into the straight. Me Pat Malone is going up on the outside here, will take the lead. And under no real driving from David Murphy there at the finish, Me Pat Malone comes on to score pretty impressively with a huge gap back to third, a huge margin. If David Murphy can find the right race for Me Pat Malone, this horse absolutely can win a race first up, given that this horse is still a maiden. You wouldn't believe it off the trial performances. Having said that, I don't think we're going to be on our own in backing this horse first up. I think now that we've highlighted it and this horse has done so well at the trials, I think the odds will come up indicative of that. However, there still might be some value there, so certainly worth putting in Me Pat Malone next time it goes round. Make sure you stay in tune with the trial file. We're going to be dropping it every Tuesday. We're going to also issue a new mailing list, so you can sign up and find out as soon as we've dropped the trial file on the trots.com.au, and the video will also include a results list each week so that you can follow whether our trial tips and the black bookers are winning or losing. We had a pretty good week one, as you can see on the results below. And a big thank you to our digital sponsor, Elabar, for all the support that they've given. You can get more information on Elabar at elabar.com.au. But until next week, good luck on the punt, and we'll see you then.